Hello and welcome to another stream. Today we'll be looking at fixing our easy authentication, making sure the authentication works for our Blazor app, and if we get to there we'll be adding some animations. So hello everybody in the chat. If you're here, please say hi. Hope you're all doing amazing. So let's get started. So last episode we tried adding easy authentication to our Azure functions, but we got some problems. as the authentication didn't work correctly. Well, the authentication did work, but we couldn't read the user info, and we wanted to use that to save our data, so let's work on that. If you have any questions, feel free to ask them in the chat. And if you want to say hi, also in the chat. Hello, welcome Irish Tea Leaf. Hope you're doing good. So we did some stuff. We tried reading the claims, but apparently that wasn't the correct way. If we grab the page view, I did some digging, and I asked Anthony Chu, and he gave me a link to this page. You can see the authentication, if it's correct, at auth.me, and we can read it with this one. I got an error on it, but with some minor adjustments I got it working. So let's get to it. We have our startup, so let's make a service for this. Let's create a new class. This class is gonna be the Auth service. And we also want a new model for it, and I don't believe we have a folder for our models yet, so let's add that. If you have any questions, feel free to ask them in the chat, and I'll be happy to answer them. So let's call this client principal. I didn't write it correctly. Good. Make this public, and we can get the client principals. So this is the way they logged in. It isn't too important for us right now, but we can have the information, so why not? The other one is the user ID. So the user ID is unique for every user. It doesn't contain any user data, but it's we can use it to link. And there's the user details. So this is the name of the user. I believe this one doesn't need to be unique, so we can use it to display things, but not to work with. And the last one is an enumerable, the type of strings with the user roles. So we can assign certain users with certain roles, so we can have administrators, contributors, whatever. Defaultly get anonymous, and you can also, when you authenticate it, you will get authenticated. So that way we can check it. Hello, welcome to the chat, Violets TV. If you have any questions, feel free to ask them. And if you want to say hi, feel free to do also. So let's get a bit further with this service. Let's not call this Auth server, as this is the class. And we want to create a function that returns the client principal. Get client principal from requests. And we want to input the HTTP request in it. Let's create a new principal for this. So this is the object that we just created. And now we want to set it if certain headers are set. So if request dot headers dot try get value. So we want to get the x/ms/client principal. Out var header. And then we want to save the data on here. So the header dot 0. And we want to decode it. So we want to get the first one. I'm gonna do first. I do prefer it this way, but we know this header should only have one value. So we're gonna convert this header from Blazor 64 string. We're gonna get the data. Encoding dot ASCII dot get string. So we convert it to the JSON string, and then we want to serialize it. So print all. Hey John, welcome back to the stream. Hope you're doing amazing. JSON serializer. JSON on. Yeah, we need to use JSON convert. John, we just took a look at the documentation, but we created a new model, the client principal. This just gonna vault our user, so it has the identity principal. This can be the Twitter, Google, Microsoft. The user ID, this is a unique ID for every user. The user details, so that's basically the username. Let me quickly bend that guy, sorry. Can I? Great, now it's fixed. Sorry, I just wanted to delete him. But we just created the user details, so that's the username. But the username can be the same for someone on Twitter and someone on Microsoft, but not be the same user. So we want to use the user ID. And we have the user roles. So the defaultly every user, or not even users, have anonymous. So when you send it without authenticating, and then when you authenticate, you get authenticated. And through the Azure portal, we can also add certain users to other roles. So we can view this. So if they need to be admin, something, we can add that maybe for a later episode. And now we're just trying to parse the client principal header to the object. So you didn't miss too much. Of course I need to input the JSON. Let's do it like this. Return. Return null. No, I don't want to invert it. So let's remove the unused usings. And let's make this an interface. For now, this is fine, but gonna do something tricky. Class debug out server as the we cannot authenticate on local host, so that's a problem. So we're just gonna return new client principal, give it a user ID of something, just so we can work. Just call it top dev. It's not really an ID, but should work. The rest is not necessary yet. So refactor, move to another file. That's also, I misnamed this one, so I should remove this one. Let me view the service client. Oh, I didn't create a folder for it, sorry. If you have any questions, feel free to ask them in the chat. And let's move those here. And then just create a folder with interfaces. And move this here. And now just namespaces. And that should fix everything for us. So now let's add them to our startup. So if the debugger is attached, we wanna Auth service debug Auth service. So if the debugger is attached, we wanna use our Auth service as that keeps our everything working, and otherwise we wanna use the normal one. So this is when we push it to Azure. And now we can use it in our methods. So let's remove all this crap from the last one. And let's insert the new service, auto service. So this is a great example why removing the interface in the implementation itself, as we can just decide the implementation on runtime. So let's call the out service client principal requests. I do want to return not a null but new. So into our user, and let's define the list ID user.userid. So let's see if it works. Let's start this. Let's and I believe this should work. If release, okay, check this. Not really sure what I'm saying here, but that's fine. So what we wanted to do here is, oh, it's just the 7th one. / API. So we want to use this one on localhost, and if it's released, we want to use this one. So now start this one with the .NET quadrant. So this I need to go one further. .NET quadrant. This allows us to run everything. And if we make a change, automatically getting rebuilded. So welcome Minion. I believe I see you first time in the chat. Let's say hi in the chat if you're here. Hope to hear from you. Let's grab this. Let's go to we should set HTTPS before it. So if any of you guys have any questions about what we are doing, or about what we did in a previous episode, or about your own project containing Blazor, Azure Functions, or other .NET HTML related, feel free to ask them in the chat, and I'll be happy to help. It should be not HTTPS. Let's HTTP. Sorry. So for Azure Functions, you need to use the HTTP. For the GP Römerman asks Thomas, quick Blazor question, somewhat unrelated to the stream too. Do you usually put your code in Razor pages, or do you use that only for calling? And not specifically what you mean with calling, but yeah, no, I got some problems with the shared with if we go to something like the to-do component. You can see that this is only the HTML and Razor that is needed for the rendering. So it's not doing anything really. And then we have the Razor.cs. So this is just a class, but it's partial. So it's basically the same class as the Razor. And here we do all the logic. Does that answer your question? Wait, we changed it around, right? Oh, I didn't save it. Yeah, it's called Code Behind, and I don't have it right now, but I also can look it up for you. But when I do a new item, oh wait, I reinstalled Visual Studio as I got some problems, but I have a template that allows me to create them in one instance. Yeah, so the ads and everything doesn't work right now, but when we let's see the breakpoints, but it looks like everything works correctly. Also, something else I found out about is the routes in the Azure Static Web Apps, and we can create routes that I can put it something lower. Is this better? I'm of the apps artifacts, and so we can define the routes. So if we want to set that something needs to be authenticated for profiles, we can do this with the routes.json. Yeah, routes.json. So we will do this afterwards. Hello Metka, welcome to the chat. Hope you're doing amazing. But now if we check this principle, we see that the plans are so let's fix the other functions. Good to hear, you're doing great. Yeah, doing really good. Just yeah, doing what I like, programming, and also streaming, and yeah, everything is good. So let's also remove the claims. Oh, not everything, but the claims from here. And let's also retrieve it from the out servers. And remove this. And the list ID was the user.user ID. And now define that for the row key. So now we should be able to create new to-do lines. Gives that a second to start up, and let's see if we can edit. Yeah, so we got a still breakpoint on the get. Hi. Now we get a breakpoint on the post. That works, and now if we refresh, it's also there. So let's do that for the rest. I out service. Let's make sure it gets injected. And this garbage user is out service dot. So we're just trying to retrieve every user. And this one cannot be null anymore as it's from the user. Var list ID equals user.user ID. So that should all work. We'll test it in a second, but first let's add it to this one. Service. let's remove this. This our user is outService.request. And now we want to set the list ID, user ID. And we can remove this debugger. So let's make sure that they all work. I didn't make any mistake. And I also quickly show that if we go to Todo at topdev.com, so if we ever want to check our authentication, we can go to auth/me, and that returns the client principal. And then if we go to .auth.login/Twitter, just quickly log in. And now if we go to the auth/me, we see this. So this way we can also check in our client app what our name is, and what the if we are authenticated. So let's first check all the URLs here. Edits high, let's make it a high priority. Test. Let's refresh. Wait, test didn't work. We got a problem there, so we'll check that out. I see it has the anonymous role as well. Why shouldn't anonymous allow without any role? The anonymous role as well. Why shouldn't anonymous? Yeah, it's just an Azure thing, I think. So you'll always get anonymous if you're logged in or not, and then you get the rest added to it. If you check their implementation, they also remove. Let me see. Here they remove the anonymous from the roles, but didn't seem too important for me. So Artilio, welcome to the chat. And I believe that's it for people that are new in the chat. If you have any questions, feel free to ask them. And if you just want to say hi, that's also really cool. Yeah, let's try to fix our update. Not our update, or post at vision. They have the same row key as the same list ID. So that's let's do a row key. It's GUID.new GUID. This will create a new random GUID ID and to string as it wants that. It wants a string, and created results. Let's do it with the row key, so we can we'll do that a little bit later. First I want to check this, but then we're gonna save the row key on the item, so you can also update it. So that seems to work. Delete. Yeah. Now we have the delete, the new, the update. So those are the main functions that we want. But there are a few more, so things we want to do. So let's quickly sample route file. So we want to create a routes.json in the app, I believe. Must exist at the root of the app build effect folder. So if we want to check that, we go to quit. We can check this, and so that the app location is the to do. Wasn't the artifact, or was it the of the app's build artifact folder? Yeah, so it needs to be in the artifact folder. That's no problem. So let's create a new item. JSON file routes.json. Can we have, well, yeah, we can have wildcards. So copy this one and do API /. So this should make a every URL under the API only available for the authenticated users. So we do want to check if the item went on the correct folder. So I'm just gonna open the bin folder, the debug .NET 5, and it has the routes.json. I didn't test it beforehand, so that's always fun. Let's remove this one. Shouldn't go. Move this. So if any of you guys have any questions about our current projects, other Blazor related topics, or anything else, feel free to ask it in the chat. I'm happy to answer. Edit out. So the next step is adding or fixing our authentication. So we're just doing some always authenticated. Our style is as what's it that you like about Blazor? Yeah, a lot of stuff. The first thing is the way you develop. So it's really intuitive to create Blazor write C# in your HTML and be able to do for each loops as I'm already used to in normal ones. I don't have to do new to like finding HTML and inserting it, what you do with JavaScript. But therefore there's also like Angular or Vue. But yeah, that's really cool. Your front end and your back end are now written in the same language, and it's a hosting model. So the front end or the now we're using Blazor WebAssembly, so that runs in the browser using WebAssembly. But you also have a server model, so it renders on the server, but then it goes back and forward. And you also have like Electron and other ways, so that's really cool. And yeah, I already did a lot with the MVC of .NET, and yeah, in my opinion, MVC or Blazor is just MVC on steroids with way more benefits, and you don't serve your file, but stays running. So I hope that answers your question. Yeah, so now we wanted to check this. So I wanna make a new service. Authentication service. No, let's go. Service. You're welcome. Public void check authentication. And let's create a, it's not gonna return nothing, but it's gonna return something like this, so copy this over. Public class, class client print. We can move our model from here. Vector move to shared / models. As it's the same one. So let's client principal private. Read only HTTP service. So we wanna grab them. Get async. And we have a problem here. Let me think. As we said slash where that's on the Blazor app, of course. The problem we have is that we use the slash API, and we wanna check the .out/me. So we gonna have to remove the slash API. And then we do need to add it. So let's go to our to-do service, to-do list service. So let's add API slash in front of them all. Yeah, so that's let me check if it still all works. So I believe that Commander Root has joined the chat, so welcome. Hope you're doing good. Still got an error on the out service. This out service. The one of Todo. Ah yeah, of course. So one sign principal, and we want it at out/me. And then we just want to return. And that is of course a task, so that should be also be awaited. And that makes a sync. And there was one bracket too much. Starting. It has 2 slashes. That means we want to remove that one from our program. Like this. Not in this. So if they are in the chat and you want to say hi or have any questions, feel free to do. It's always really appreciated. The get requested still 2 of them. Let's figure that out. So let's go to the HTTP service. To the HTTP service, not there. Wait, we're not doing it here. We're not. Okay. So we want to remove this, I guess. Let's check it. That looks way better. So we fixed that. Now we added we didn't make it an interface yet, so let's get to our Auth service and make it an interface so we can inject it. Extract on file. So if you have any questions about something like a dependency injection and even why it's good, feel free to ask that in the chat. Let's fix this namespace. Auth service. Auth service. Let's go here. Well, I'm John Nesk. Well, I'm reading up on dependency injection as we speak. Figured out that it's not possible to conventional way to use construct dependency injection and particular CS class attached to a Razor page. I wanted to move away from Razor page itself. GamerDiz, welcome. I really appreciate it. And welcome. How are you doing? So John sent us a link. SQL Mr. Mongo is a really good programmer. Had a few talks with him and a few streams he was in the chat. Yeah, so you basically want to inject the page instead of the implementation. Yeah, that's not really possible yet. There are ways around it, basically, yeah. The bottom. Yeah, really good. Yeah, in the process mining tool I built for my company, PVC, it's processmining.pvc.nl. Also use this for the sidebar, as the sidebars loaded dynamically. So yeah, if you press one of the buttons, it just opens a type of that component. He said originally I had to inject in the Razor page, but I prefer the option you're looking at now. For my pages itself, I mostly use. Let me open them. I use the inject attribute. So this is a pretty easy way, and I don't like it to be in the Razor page itself, but I think that's just fine. Let's go back to this one as. Let's remove this. Principle. Blah. Oh wait, I removed way too much. No, I didn't remove way too much. It's in the surface, of course. So far, user equals out surface. That's stupid me. I didn't specify the function there. Yeah, I believe the normal way isn't used as the life cycle of the classes are different. Wait. Make it async. Let's rename this to principal. That was a sneeze. You guys are probably really happy that I muted my microphone, as otherwise would hurt or bleed out of your eyes. Or ears, not eyes. Claims principle. So this also checks your authentication. And let's also go make different implementation for the Auth service, as this is gonna work for testing. Class debug service. My Auth service. And let's implement it. Let's just return new task, the claims principle. No, that isn't correct. Task.result. So this is a way to just create a task when insert something in it. So let's say we use Twitter. The user details is top dev. Let's also make that the user ID. Top dev. So it's the same here as it's on the backend. And let's give it roles equals new list. No, we can just make it an array. And give it on and authenticate it. So let's, oh, I don't want to remove this, but move this to his own file. And if we go to program, we have the add services. Add it here. Builder service add scoped. This one first, as I'm not really sure why it's so screwed, but Auth service ID debug debug. I don't like that name, so let's call it debug Auth service. I believe Etten is joined the stream. Welcome back, I believe. And Mr. Doc80, I don't think I've seen you before, so welcome. Let's hope you're doing well, and hope you're enjoying the stream. If you have any questions, feel free to ask. todo.services already contains yeah, but this is the other one. Your functions. Debug outsert. Let's do a build here and see if we get an error here, as it's a little more readable. No errors. So if any of you guys are new in the stream, I would really appreciate it if you would hit that follow button, as it really helps me out. Yeah, it seems it does work. I'm not sure why my Azure or my this one didn't work. .NET clean. Let's remove everything and let's run. Too many changes. That's pretty cool, because we don't have any changes right now. And let's start our Auth service. That all works. So let's push this, and after that we can check if that it works on the server. That's pretty important. I'm not sure what this wanted. So let's check our John donated €2. The inject attribute works nicely. Here's your coffee, you earned it. Thank you, I really appreciate it. And it's like 4 cups of coffee, as all the stores are closed, or all the fancy coffee is closed. And my coffee mug is this big. It's really small. And tomorrow I'm gonna grab my new laptop of my work so I can steal some coffee there. But thank you, John. Really appreciate it. Let's move this one up as we also want the authenticated state before that. La 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 la. Let's sure why there's so much CSS here, as we're not using it. So let's remove that. And let's add class for the navbar. Nav menu dot razor.cs. The reason we use .razor.cs is it's getting stacked under the razor, so everything stays nice and clean. So here we have that. Let's do a quick search if we can find Blazor get authentication states. The defense spin. Thank you for the follow. I really appreciate it. How are you doing? And if you ever worked with Blazor or any other C# projects, I also see that oh, it's still on the line, my layout, but really appreciate it. Thank you. But let's use the authentication states. The defense spin says, I'm good. I just started a Blazor project a couple of weeks ago, but having a lot of issues with it. What kind of issues have you with it, defense spin, and what type of Blazor are you using? Are you using the server one, or are you using the WebAssembly one? And good to hear that you're good. That's always amazing. He was trying to use WebAssembly. Yeah, we are also using WebAssembly. If you want to find out about the project, you can type !project in the chat, and it will show some information as the GitHub URL and the URL itself. But if you have any questions, the issue I had was connecting it to the local MongoDB that I made. Well, defense spin, there's something you wanna you get but I keep getting the browser wasm error every time I open the project. Yeah, so hope I can do this in Paint. But yeah, this is the browser. And normally it would get like in the MVC. Have you ever used MVC or any other .NET Core frameworks? Let's check my amazing drawing skills. But a server. And let's make it a little bit bigger, as I'm not really good at planning. It's not too big, but this is our database. So normally the browser would send a request to the server. Defensive pin says I use .NET Framework for work, but I haven't used Core. Well, Core, it's pretty much it's the same language. There are some difference, but the general concepts is all the same. So you would know that normally on MVC, you would the browser would request a page, and if there's a database, the server would like check your authentication or whatever. And then it would check the database and it would return something. And then the server renders the page and sends it back. So that's the normal MVC, old PHP, whatever, the way it worked. But now, with WebAssembly, what you try to do is you have the browser, as WebAssembly runs entirely in your browser with Blazor, and you're trying to talk to the database without the server, or without the server. So I don't know if there's another error, but you also don't want to do it, as you don't really have any understanding about what they're gonna do. You have no control about what they insert, what they update, what they delete. So that's why we also use the database, but we use the Azure table storage. It's a really low and easy database. Doesn't have a lot of crazy features. But it's also NoSQL, NoSQL, but we use the Azure functions between it. So the browser loads, it creates all the HTML, but then it needs some data from the database. So we send a request to our Azure Func. Let's get spin up. And then it goes to the database. So no, would you recommend using switch from MongoDB to Azure or something? Not necessarily. Because you just choose Mongo at random. If you don't have any experience, it really depends on what you want to do. But if you don't have any prior experience, you could look at table storage. But for example, if we check our portal, you can see that did some testing, but we use an Azure Static Web Apps, and that's free. It's in a resource group. Resource groups are always free. And we have the Todo app storage account. And can we see the cost? Not even seeing it here. We can see it of cost analytic. But I believe my application insights cost something, but I wanted to check something. Yeah, so if you can see, we're spending, well, nothing. So it could be a really good option for you. You can also look at my code if you do that for you. You do project and you see the GitHub URL. You can also see how we did it. And if you have any questions, feel free to just ask them. But the general way is that you don't want to access your database from the browser, as there needs to be something between it to make sure you don't the data gets cleaned, the data, and you only allow what you want. And table storage lets me open Azure. Also wondering my well, you can also use oh, this is the wrong project. John says I wouldn't recommend MongoDB. Using a more traditional DB makes more sense in your use case. Not totally agree on that, but I should, yeah. So it's deployed. Starting the emulator, display it, but let's go here. Did we get an error? Yes. Also sounds like, oh, the URL didn't get correctly. Aren't we building with release? I believe we were. In a later episode we will add our configuration. Yeah, it should be released. Okay. Yeah, but you can use all your code that's here. Basically, you have 3 projects. The to-do, this is our Blazor app. This is the shared app between the two, and this is our Azure functions. And this is just a way to access the data and get there. So my Storage Explorer has started. So this is basically our database for now. The really important yeah, you need a partition key. So that's basically where a part of your data with the same partition key gets stored on the same part. So the database knows where to look. It's like an index way. And the other way is the row key. So this is basically the unique identifier. And then we have a name and a priority, and we just insert the objects in the database. So that's nothing fancy. John Römermans asks, why would you use MongoDB then for a trivia app and why? Well, I wouldn't recommend MongoDB. But I also wouldn't necessarily recommend SQL. SQL has a lot of setup, and I believe there aren't too many free instances, but I'm not sure about that on Azure. For projects like this, I would or do something that you know, as you can deploy really quickly and test everything quickly. Or I would just try something new. For like a trivia app, I wouldn't... or you want to make the best trivia app in the world, but otherwise I would just use the easiest way for you, or something you want to learn. as for such an app, performance, redundancy, whatever, not really important. Indexing also not, as I guess, as I thought. Yeah, there aren't gonna be millions of customers. Also, defensive pin. If you have any questions. Oh, sorry, I clicked something that wasn't the meaning. Defensive pin stuff. I'm pretty inexperienced with databases. The only thing we use at work is Oracle SQL Developer, but I'm not sure if it's free and how it works. Never used SQL in my code. I did work with it for some analysis. I don't think Oracle is the easiest way, and I believe they all are pretty expensive. And this is totally free. Also, if you have any questions when I'm not streaming, feel free to just tag me on Twitter, and I'll try to respond as quickly as possible for that. Or wait till Wednesday or Mondays, depending on the day you're at. There's a stream every Monday and Wednesday from 7 till 10. Let's get back here. Defensive pin says, I will work on that through. I hopefully get past the browser bottom error. It's my first programming stream and it's awesome. Thank you. Really great to hear. It's your first programming stream and it's awesome. It's always very nice to hear that. As I'm pretty small yet, but every stream more people are joining and it's really motivating. It's not that I don't program all day, but it's still really fun. So let's quickly comment this out. We probably should make this better, but I'm just a little bit lazy for now. Yeah, that's fine, and that's also fine. So the reason I'm doing this is I just want to make sure it works online. Yeah, but defensive pin, so the most important part is that you don't want to access your database through your browser. You want to use the server between it. There are ways to do it, but I wouldn't recommend it. The defensive pin donates €3. Thank you. I really appreciate it. It wasn't at all necessary. As I'm here to help you, but it's really appreciated. And it really helps me out. I just bought this nice microphone arm. As last stream, my microphone was falling off my desk, and it was in the way of my keyboard. So a small improvement for that. And also, if you've any friends or somebody else that's into programming, it would be appreciated if you would recommend them to come and watch. And always, it's really appreciated if you join next time. That's the reason I'm doing it. I got an error. Let's see where that's probably not gonna build on our GitHub Actions. So for people that are new here, we use Visual Studio to edit. We then push it to GitHub and build it with GitHub Actions. And we have a Blazor app and Azure Functions. Yeah, always Defensive Pin says keep posting on Reddit. That's how I found it. Yeah, I'm every week I'm posting, and I believe there are a few people that joined, so that's good. It's a really good way to be found, I guess, for Blazor. So I believe there are some new people in the chat. I'm not sure, but I don't think I saw Abelt Costello. So welcome. And I believe the rest was already in the chat, but if I've got you, feel free to say hi in the chat, and I'll. It's always too good to see people. And also helps me when some people talk in chat. As one of the Twitch challenges is to get 5 people talking at the same time. I'm not really too busy with them, but always good to see them, to get them and improve. So fine. What counts at the same time? That's a really good question, Matt Cow. I'm not really sure, but I believe in a few minutes of each other. So not sure. Let's all post Frank C. Let's post those doggos. And after that I have my follower challenge for 50 subs, or for 50 followers, and then we can unlock some emotes. Yeah, PogChamp is no more, right? Oh, they have a new one every day. I also have a special one of an also have this one. Yeah, I know, Matt Cow. Really appreciate the one. Yeah, where were we? Yeah, this PogChamp is really I don't know what to say about it, but amazing, I guess. Let's see, this is almost done. Private string gets. username. So let's make it protected overrides on initialize private string username, so we don't have to check it every time. Get. So username equals dot username, and then private void on out state changed. So this is basically when the authentication states changes, we want to get an update. So they affected the task authentication state. So we so when the user logs in, I believe that they need to leave the site for now to log in, but yeah, just to make sure it works correctly. So let's await the task. Let's make it on out stage changed. Should be task info. Don't want it void, but we don't want that. So this way that works. We can also do this. Await. Let's remove this one. And then we want to say username equals user dot. Hope this works. And this can be a task. Also make it void. Let's call this update username. So now when the stage changes, We update it. So div class with auto, and let's search for what we need to do to pull it. Tailwind CSS. To right. Pull right. Let's maybe we can do self, just self, and no clue if this works. Yeah, I would think it would be nice. Yeah, let's make it white, a little bigger, maybe. Text. Them. And text whites. Yeah, cool. Maybe a little bit more like that. Make it also semi-bold. So it should be online and everything went right. So let's check situation. So we are authenticated, saying anything. But .out/logout. There's a problem with the get authentication state, so we still need to look at that. Also the problem when we do login. So we're using an easy authentication, something built in. Get authentication. Argument null. Oh. What we could do is not the base URL, but let's see what happens when we try this one. So I just gonna try to link up my local environments to my Azure functions backend, and that's not allowed. Yeah, I was already afraid of that. So let's revert that. Argument null. So let's check this. Check authentication is identity provider. User ID. Name. User details. Select is R. I have no clue. So console.writeLine that principal. Oh yeah, I needed to use CW from provider. CW. Name ID. User name. Roles. And let's our claims principal is. Move this here to make sure that we know what's happening. Claims that one, and let's do this here. So I'm not gonna push this, I'm gonna push this, and I'm gonna push this. Logging. So while this builds, I'm gonna grab something to drink. I'll be back in a few minutes. Get also something to drink, and go to the bathroom or whatever. I'll be back in a few. Welcome back. I'm back. I hope everybody grabbed something to drink. I did. And let's see how the build's going. It's almost done. Should have taken a longer break. But this is almost done. So, defensive pin, are you still here? Wondering how you got to Blazor? Are you using GitHub pages to show / run this? No, I'm using Azure Static. You mean the site itself? I'm using Azure Static Web Apps. So if you go to, well, you can't go here, but I can. I have Static Web App. It's still in preview, but it doesn't really matter for projects like this. And you can link your domain. You can. It's not always showing. Yeah, but you have your Azure functions. You can also, like I did some testing. So it automatically creates an environment for that. So I can go to browse, and it opens and creates a new URL for you. And you have like role management. So this is the roles you saw. What's the cost? Okay. Let's see. Let's go to our to-do resource app. Cost analysis. What's your what do you think it costs? Any idea? Oh, cost. Too late. No, it's free. Not sure if I can show for each resource, but yeah, I'm not. They're completely free. No, this is Cosmos. It's pretty expensive. This is Azure Table Storage. But the cool thing is, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, you can use the table storage API for your Cosmos DB API. So if you wanted to start with this one, you can do, and then if you ever need Cosmos, you can convert that. But for now, no, we're just using the storage account with the tables. Okay, so provider was set. Yeah, it's really easy. Once you go to grab it, like when you, well, at least the Azure Table Storage or the brain fart. The static web apps is really easy. You can just create it, and you can even link it to your GitHub. So you would hit create, and then you can let's say resource group blah somewhere, and then you can sign in with your GitHub, authorize sure, and you can select your organization, your repository, and then the branch, and then it will automatically create a pipeline for you. You need to do some stuff, like you need to define your build command and the locations of your app, but that's all. And then in the configuration, I just have the connection string to the table storage. Yeah, it's really easy. We get a problem with the name identifier. On here. Argument null generic. I never seen this error. Blah. But the provider is set argument. What? Well, to be honest, I don't care about the ID here, as we're never gonna use it anyway, as we wanna retrieve it on the backend. Yeah. Let's try this. And while we wait, we could do some CSS animations, I guess. As it still needs to build. Yeah. So let's scroll down. You have animations like this. But I also really like transitions, like the hover. So we could do something like, let's run this. Our tea leaves wants a dancing hopland. Well, I'm not really sure I'm that good with animations, but we can, for example, add and hover on those to give it a little bit of a feel. So let's work on that. So let's go to here. So you need to add the transition. You want to select the duration, what, and then you want the hover. So what they do here is they translate it on the y-axis and they scale it. Not sure why they use transform 2 times. Oh no, transition. And yeah. So let's Can you turn your mouse into the logo, dude? Seeing a fly on the screen would be satisfying as well. Css custom cursor. I've seen it, I guess. Over this. Oh, we don't want stuff like that. We want our own. We can try it. Let's do this after the I'm not really sure that it's good, but yeah, let's first do this this one, and then we can maybe if you hover over the add, we can add my logo to it. So let's find our to-do item. Tools already has a lot of. Let's see if that works. Build it. But it's way too big. We can not see it anymore. 1 hour 5. And let's check. That's still way too big. Let's what's the smallest scale? Yeah, but we want it to be a little bit bigger. Well, that's a problem. It gets getting a little bit too big. Happens when we remove one. And what happens when we remove the hover? Yeah, that could be good. Just I'm not really a fan of this one. We could make my logo do some cool stuff. Let's do that. Nav menu. And let's also find our transition. That's pretty cool. It's not big enough. Yeah, what do you guys think? I don't know why you wasn't it, but does look cool. No. Yeah, you guys approve? That's amazing. Let's go to our CSS styles. So changing path to auto. Images slash images slash Thomas logo PNG. Oh, it's like this. I think if this works, it should be default in every browser. Because I don't think anyone can live without this. Should be for every submit button. But now, as we're using Tailwind and it's generated, so let's rebuild our styles. Let's run again. Let's That doesn't work any better. Or is it still working? No, it's deployed. Let me see, it has the hop cursor. Of course, we need to refresh the CSS. Well, it doesn't work right now. Thoughts to, let me see. Inspect. It needs a slash in it. But maybe I can ask my manager to change it for our application. Don't see any problems with that. Marketing should also be fine with that. It's not working. Why isn't it working? It's displaying the image. It is displaying it a bit. It can find it. Can find it. What? Why isn't that working? Does anyone Welcome, Tineke. How are you doing? Tineke says, good, you? I'm really good. Yeah, enjoying the stream. And I'm trying to make the cursor my logo, but that's not going too well right now. And I just had a meeting, direct everybody to the Discord now. That's always good. What's the auto for? Oh, sure. I'm sorry, I have no clue why this isn't working. But let's go to our previous hour. So the provider. Yeah, we have to write. Iris says you made the CSS thingy, but did you assign it to the cursor? Yeah, we have cursor, URL. That's what they said. I really hate sites that do stuff like that. Yeah, but we don't want one of them. Yeah, we want images/auto. Why isn't why like I did this? Iris, are you a programming newt? Newt? Like this is the penguin, right? Is that it? Oh, it's still. Oh wait. Newt. No, it's Newt. Yeah, I'm dyslexic, so I can say it with a D. That's fine. So that's still not working. Yeah, I believe that the Metcow is right. It's Nut Nut. No. If anyone sometimes make an error, you're screwed. Cannot change it anymore. Let's go to our maybe somebody before us got this error. Nut Nut. Seems that one of the failure provider. Let's go to our thingamajig. Let's go to the Auth service, I believe. Nope. To the state can't stage. Custom provider. Yeah. Not sure why I didn't do this before. Console.writeLine. JSON serializer that deserialize print all. Always screw them around when the serialize. Let's see if any of them are null. This one. And let's push our nav menu with it. And that should be fine. JSON log. So this is one of the downsides that I need to check this online, as otherwise I don't have that. This. And screwing up. Is there anything cool where you can, because you can see usage. Maybe we can do the rotate. As our Steeleaf really wanted to rotate on the navbar. On the, yeah. Let's do hover, rotate. Let's boot this up. So for everybody that's new and in the stream, If you're enjoying the stream, it would be greatly appreciated if you would leave a follow. And if you have any questions or remarks, feel free to ask them in the chat. Or if you have any requests about what to build next. Is this what you wanted, Iris Tea Leaf? Yeah, this makes this website so much better. You never knew you needed it, but you did. Oh, let's... Yeah, that's the... They don't have this built in. And I think it's better. Way better. So let's check our GitHub. If it's... still running? John, I hope that you know how the CSS work, but pretty sure this isn't gonna work. Otherwise, I don't know what to say. No. One class can only be assigned once. Doesn't make sense. But yeah. Well, let's... I'm not even sure 360 is allowed. See? We could change it here. Rotate. No, what was it called? Yeah, rotate. Where is the rotate? Yeah, I can find it out, but the next step could be to add a tailwind config val. Okay, this explains a lot. Let's add this to it. So this custom authentication state. Go here. So the problem is that can we do that here? No. Go to implementation. So the properties were case sensitive, and that gave us an error when fixing this. And now we said don't care about the sensitivity of the cases. So that should work. So let's go to Tailwind. While we wait, let's check the configuration. So we should need to create a tailwind.config.eas. So this allows us to define colors, configure certain CSS if we want to use it or not, but also add stuff. So yes. Isn't there like JavaScript? A JavaScript file. Tailwind.config. Yes. Let's grab an empty one. So this is just a basic configuration. I believe in the chat, mouse 1985 is new, so welcome. How are you doing? I hope you're having a great night. So we added our theme, and now let's get back to the rotate. So copy this. Let's copy this entire thing. Theme. I believe I copied it 2 times, but that isn't gonna work. And now let's also do 360. 360. And let's add some trick shots in there. 720. It's not getting better there now. But really wondering if this works. So let's rebuild it. Let's hope it grabs our Tailwind config. We can check it as it's just getting compiled here. It's not really that readable, but can look for 360. Oh, it is readable. But yeah, it works. Well, at least it did something. Let's rebuild as it wanted to save. So I'm not sure what it changed, but So let's see if we can add the 360. To make ours happy. Of course, that's really important. Rents224, welcome. And thank you for the follow, it's really appreciated. Hope you're doing well. How are you doing? If you have any questions or hints or whatever, feel free to ask them in the chat. We got your full turn. Let's see if we can the 720. We make this 1,000 because otherwise it's gonna be way too quick, I guess. Is this better? John asks, is there a way to do this in runtime as well? Make a random generated number between 1000 and 2000? Probably. I'm not sure if you can do this with Tailwind. But yeah, you can just add it as a style, probably. I once made a website that yeah, we got too obsessed with it, but that's fine. I once made a website that there was a 1 in 10 chance that you get Comic Sans as your font, and it saved it to the local storage. So everybody would think you're crazy if you said that you had Comic Sans, but there's nobody else had it. I see the problem we're having. So it's client principal and then this instead of just this. No, Iris, that's not horrible. That's really good. It was one of the best websites I ever made. Yeah, but that was John said 10% is too high, 1% is better. Yeah, but I don't think I received. Well, I never published it as it was a joke, but we never finished it. But I don't think I would ever have 100 people on it, so yeah, that wouldn't be great. I would like the support to get that support call. Yeah, I received the Comic Sans as my background, as my font. Not sure if that yeah, I would close the browser instantly. No, John, we shouldn't pitch that at work, as I like my job. So let's wrap this in another class. Go to the definition. Public class out response. I can't write public. And then the name was client principal. It's a client principal with the name client principal. So let's go to this implementation. Go to implementation, the out service. Out response. And let's do it. Let's add braces around it and still return the client principal. I hope this works. I want to push everything except for the program, as everybody should be allowed to spin around. Maybe we should play some music, like you spin my head round and round when you hover over the icon. I believe we have a new person in the chat. Welcome, Wibbly Wobbly. Really appreciate you being here. And how are you doing? Required field, yeah, I don't care about the message. That should wait. Let's run this. We could make the buttons a little bigger on hover, so you really know you can press them. What do you guys think of that? So this button and this button. And maybe tomorrow night or the day after that, I'll try to fix the cursor and we can implement it on the next stream. As it said I needed to do this, but that didn't work. Maybe it's too big. I can fix that on GIMP. Yeah, we could look at that. No, we don't want to queue it. Form origin, no. Skill, no. Yeah, I was looking on the darkening it. Background clip, color, no. I'm looking if there's something like tailwind darker. Oh, we could just, I know something we can do. Let's go to the buttons. Those are in the pages, and then the button here. We use in the, no, not the text. Where are we setting this color? Background green 300. So what we could do is hover background green 500. Let's see if that works. Yeah, I think it's a little too much. That's it was 200. Let's see, 300 looks better. A little. Oh, notified. Transform. And oh, I need the parent use select. Nope. Let's do this. Transition. Form. Of course, we need to do the scale on hover. And I also want the translate, as otherwise it looks a little bit weird. And maybe add a little bit more shadow on hover. Let me see if that's enabled by need box shadow. Shadow. Am I getting fine? Is this a normal shadow? Yeah. Like, I want more shadow on hover. But I'm not sure if that's enabled by default. But we can also add that to our config. But yeah, now it looks like really rising, like it's floating. What do you guys think of it? Oh, the chat is blocking it. I'm so sorry. That should be better. Maybe I should look into just showing my screen in something like this. And then make the rest black. Something or... I was thinking about making my layout look like Visual Studio. But Visual Studio is pretty ugly. I believe our web app is finally working. There's an error on logout. So we should fix that, but if principal does not equal null, hey, don't hate anyone fierce now. Trust me, once you're forced to use Jupyter notebooks, you beg for Visual Studio layout and all. Yeah, I've seen it a couple of times, but I'll see if I could do something like that. But pretty bad at Photoshop and stuff. Like I'm already really happy that I can make my go live signs and stuff. Let's set a breakpoint. Return new authentication state, new claims management. Well, I have to agree with John, as Jupyter Notebook is for Python, and Python is yeah, let's not say it. Oh, let's check for null. Go to implementation. Let's do return task dot from results null. See if it still works. Why am I not about? That works. Well, I'm not gonna hate on Python, but it has a different target. You shouldn't write big applications with it, but to transform and analyze data, it's really cool. Good, I believe. Return No, custom out provider. Let's see if we can start a debug session. As I'm not really sure why that's not allowed. So we're just fixing our authentication. Our authentication works right now, but when we're not logged in, we get an error. Oh, not anymore. So let's set it back and let's... Oh, I'm still looking at this screen. My bad. So that should fix it. Stage. Do. Let's not add that one. Add fix or not out. So really enjoy the easy authentication. As it is some work, but once you get on the right path, you don't have to configure Twitter and Google and Microsoft and which one had to be more, and Facebook. And if you want, you can add your own ones with OpenID. Wait, we're still debugging. That wasn't what I wanted. I wanted to run the Azure functions. And let's make sure we are logged in again. The amazing logo flip. And let's also add the hover to the other ones. And that is, let me see, close. Oh, I shouldn't close the Solution Explorer. But luckily, these days I can find him. The start of my career was a little bit harder. And we could look at I believe there's a way to combine all those CSS still using a Tailwind. Darn, styles. Yeah, we could do something like this to make sure we don't have to define it for everyone. Let's see how GitHub is doing. That's pretty much done. And that means this stream is almost at end. I'll close at around 10. It doesn't come to the minutes, but that's the target. So if you're interested, I have for the next stream the ability to have multiple lists. So you could have a work list, a personal list, a shopping list, whatever. Another way is that I want to look at is the changing the order. So now there's nothing to save that. Another one, but that's gonna be a lot of work, is the ability to share your list with other users. I'm not really sure how we're gonna do that yet, but we'll find out. Then we probably do need to save our user somewhere. No, it's still running. And the other one, but it's really easy, is to show how PRs work. So if you have any thing else you want to see, or if you have any preference for the rest, feel free to respond in the chat with your preference. So this is completed. And now it works. Very cool. One last thing. I want what did we do here? Yeah, we can stage this. Don't want to stage that, and also not that. I want a quick and easy way to log out. So let's wrap this, or make this an A, and give it an href of .out/logout. See if that works. So John says, I really like the, or not really, I like the idea of multiple people. Yeah, so you can add other people to your own list. Yeah, there's nothing at this address, but we go here. There should be something at the .out. .logout. Yeah. And now we can log in again. Oh. Is it lowercase? Microsoft. Azure functions easy out. It's Microsoft account, so let's also fix that for now. And let's check the other ones then. Use Google. Yeah, so we get a new list as we're not the same person right now. Custom. Let's re-add the new claims dot name identifier. Yeah. This one was gone. Stage. End of the stream. So I think I will leave it at this. If you're interested in the project, you can find it at the links in the chat. If you have any questions, feel free to ask them still in the chat or tag me on Twitter. Or wait till next stream. I stream every Monday and Wednesday from 7 to 10. And if you have enjoyed the stream and aren't following yet, I would appreciate a follow so you can see when I go live next time. I hope to see you Wednesday at 7 o'clock or a little bit later if you can't make that. And have a great night. Goodbye.